Hello, I am the Experimenter, and I've been doing this YouTube gig for dang near 8 months. Started with this video back in June on the 27th in 2024. And throughout my 8 months doing YouTube, I've made quite the portfolio of decks. I mean, there's only 10, but they were all the worthwhile, which is exactly what this video is about. We shall be looking over all the decks I've made in these 7 or so, let's just round it up, 8 months that I've been doing YouTube, from the earliest to the most recent and seeing what fun topics can be brought up along the way. This video is going to be one full of crazy rides and insane humor, so stick around and find out. So here is the deck I built for obviously what you can read in the name. Legendary Legacy of Destruction pack deck. I made this deck out of opening one booster box of Legacy of Destruction. And you may be asking, what's the synergy between Illusions, Ancient Gears, and Tenpais? And also Ragnarekas? There isn't one. I was just using whatever cards I pulled. This was the third video I ever uploaded, and was the first video I ever did where I made a deck specifically for that video. It went horrendously, as you could guess. Somehow was my first in the hundreds view video, had like 500 views. Cause yeah, your boy is like that. You know I am. Shut up. But anyway, I'm trying to think of where else I can continue on. Oh yeah, some dude, when I used one of these cards, one of the Tenpai cards, thought I was actually playing Tenpai. Hmm. I'm thinking of a word, but I can't seem to grasp it. That's happening. That has been happening too often lately. So naive there. Thought of that thinking of the fucking Tau from Warhammer. Of course I did. And obviously, this was when Legacy of Destruction first came out, so that was before all these ban list hits on Senpai like Tundra to 1, Kaiman to 1, Summoning to 1. Oops, but that's all I got to say. Let me fix that real quick and then go on to the next deck. And here's something you wouldn't expect to see. Casual Fiendsmith or Fiendsmith Casual. This deck was built off of the ideology that what makes a meta deck is the overuse of hand traps and board breakers. And before you get on me for using board breakers like Raigeki, Lightning Storm, and Harpy Spell Duster, just look at the deck. Most of it is generic cards. Most of it aligns with Fiendsmith, whether Fiend or Light. And monster traps. I had to fill up the space somehow. It was before the ban list, so this was legal at the time. I have made the deck mainly focuses on Fiendsmith Engraver itself, and these are only sides. They're not in the side deck, but they're sides in the deck. If you get what I'm saying. If you don't, rewatch what I said, and maybe you do, because you just sound fucking stupid right now. Don't ask me. But anyway, and it actually enlightened some people to that idea that meta wasn't defined by the deck itself, but rather what was in your version of the deck. Seem like maybe I kind of think it's different now, because how are you supposed to make Malice casual when literally everything it does is pretty much built into the deck besides the hand traps and the D barriers and well, no, not D barriers, but D shifter, dimensional fissure and shit. The banish is built into the deck, so how are you supposed to make that casual? People thought this could be made casual, but look, I did it. Hardy har har. Next deck. Well, maybe if my computer stops lagging. So this deck is, as you can see in the video in the title, no battle. Every single one of these cards have an attack negate, and I was just trying to be a major inconvenience to whoever I was playing against. It was fun as hell. But when I tell you some decks got that gas, some decks got that gas, they could play straight through most of these, which is kind of wild. Sonic Stun was a crazy card I found. It just negates attacks such as summons a level 4 or lower tuner from your hand or deck. And we actually needed the Goats negate attack, Scrap Iron Scarecrow. I don't think I ever knew of this card until making this video. Some of these cards I did not even know of. I did not know Crebons was a tuner, but I knew who he was. Bacon Saver, who I thought I'd never use a day in my life. Swift Scarecrow, and Magic Cylinder. How do I skip that Goats, but go to Bacon Saver? No, no. This what was the second video? I guess it wasn't the second. This was the third. Either way, it was fucking crazy, and this did not work because modern day Yu-Gi-Oh decks are just so gassed. None of these cards are stopping them, even if they stop the battle phase. So this deck, as you can obviously see, looks like a structure deck. As you saw in the video that was played like not even 10 seconds ago, this is a shark structure deck that I made a little bit after Rota came out. I added the new support and stuff. But my main goal for the structure deck was to make this shit sell like hotcakes to a fat person. So I put in both triple tactics and the Dominus Impulse. I almost called this Sanctus Dominus. That is crazy. Puppy Shark. I even put in the Armored Xyz. I put in all the good stuff. This was finna sell like a Monday biscuit at Dunkin' Donuts. I just deleted something on accident. Let's just exit, enter back in, and boom, it's there. See, I know how to hack this motherfucking game. I ain't losing shit. And I ain't never seen some of these damn cards before until I made this. Specifically, things like Valiant Shark Lancer. I may have saw him once or twice. Whoever thought Mother Grizzly would be in a modern day structure deck? I don't know. Charmers, Circumpolar. Overall, I know this shit sells more than McDonald's. That is all my words have to say. You know you would buy it. You know you'd buy 3. Try to make the most meta inclined copy of Sharks and then get fucked because it wasn't meant for that. You still could get it for the triple tactics. And this deck was made using cards only out of Quarter Century Bonanza, or what I like to call Quarter Century Banana. But I'm gonna be honest, I completely forgot that set existed after a while, but I do remember making this deck. Because Quarter Century Bonanza was the first thing that messed with the GOAT pool. So a lot of this deck is just GOAT cards. DD Warrior Lady, Armageddon Knight, Gravekeeper Spy, Witch of Black Forest, Sangan, with a little extra added flavor like Diabell Star, Malicious, Dragon Dark, motherfucking Colossus, and all the toxic GOAT nostalgia cards you can think of. Wave Motion Cannon, Magic Cylinder, Creature Swap, Raigeki, this insane ass Floodgate, Grave of Super Ancient Organisms. Overall, I was just trying to be a dick. That's the story about most of these decks. Trying to be a prick and a dick. If that ain't a rhyme. But as you can guess, that shit failed so hard. I'm not even sure what beat this deck. But beat them bad enough for them to be left in the past. That's my final closing words. I shall brain control you. So here is a deck that I had made using YGO Pro Deck's cube drafting feature, which I think was originally supposed to be for Master Duel, but as you can see, I did it for the TCG. I don't know what cube I used to go watch that video if you want to find out. Haha, shameless plug. But this is what I ended up with. A whole bunch of random stuff. I'm pretty sure I was focusing on normal summoning and special summoning. And as you can see, being a toxic fuck, where we're some toxic fuck. Stumbling, spell absorption, soul absorption, mask of the accursed. I know I used chicken game in that video. Dances, Waybridge? Yes. It was just a whole bunch of annoying stuff like Scrap Iron Scarecrow. I saw one. Grave of the Super Ancient Organism. Dynamorpheus Shell. Forced back. It was a fun time. Except it didn't really do much because there is no synergy between these cards whatsoever. How do we go from Vanquish Soul Heavy Border to the Big Set all the way back to Hualating? And then even further back to trains with Night Express Knight. And then even further back into ancient Egypt with Obelisk the Tormentor. No synergy, no continuity. There was random 5 extra deck monsters, including Zelantis. Don't ask why. No synergy, no continuity, just cubes. You saw a video this deck was in. Look at the title of the deck, literally called Level 9. The whole point of this deck is a deck using only level 9 monsters that was not only generators. And it wasn't only, so I have things like this, Metaltron the 12th, True King Agnamazud, Machina Metal Cruncher, a Gizmech, Blaster Cannon Core, a lot of generators, but it wasn't all, because we got all those stuff, QQ and Agon you had to use. He was the whole reason I thought of this challenge. I'm pretty sure he's in the thumbnail too. And then I did not know Guardian Chimera was a level 9, but it was able to be used here because it's just 3 months with different names. And a lot of these were 1-ofs or 2-ofs. There was only 3-3-ofs for the level 9 monsters. Everything else was just rank 9 XZs. These 2 cars are just randomly level 9 support. Kujikiri Curse and World Legacy Monstrosity. I almost read the OCG name up here, Burgeoning. You just special summon a level 9 monster from your hand. Goes so well with this deck. And this deck came so close to getting a win, but the problem was getting that final nick of damage to do the kill. That's pretty much the problems with all these decks. I can play with them well enough that I can get them down to a very compromising position. But modern day Yu-Gi-Oh! Says fuck that and turns the table upside down, and now I'm in that position. Is this a salty rant? Maybe. Is it the objective truth? Definitely. Are you saying I'm lying? Possibly. Either way, I know the truth, and the truth shall set me free. So this deck, which you keep seeing the video that these decks are in, so you pretty much get the premise before I even get on here. It's coin gambling. Everyone's favorite recreational activity. Go watch that video and you'll understand the joke. It's mainly coin gambling because I had to add terraforming to get that light barrier and then instant fusion to summon this, which I don't know ever got summoned. And yes, I had an entire side deck in case I wanted to get toxic. Pass of Destiny, it's just a coin toss burn effect. I mean, the new Arcana support came out in Sura. Did you expect me not to make an Arcana Force deck in a coin gamble video? I did not know how to use it first off, but I started getting the hang of it. I might redo that video just so I can bring this back because it was fun as hell. And this once again had the same problem of getting them down straight to the nick of death. And then Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Flipped the table, called me a cunt, and then beat me to death. That is a joke. If Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! It wouldn't even jump you, it would just punch you in the face, throw your cards on the floor, and then walk away. And the whole thing about this deck, a funny thing that happened in that video with this deck, is that They had responses to some of my coin flip effects, but I'm like, come on, you want to see what fate decides, you want to see what chance gives you, and they ended up letting it go through half the time fucking them, so they never let that happen again. That's all the info you need to know before you watch that video, because you're watching every single one of these videos that I'm going over. This is true that I made two videos about gambling, one with coins and one with dice. This one obviously was not as structured because coin flips actually have an entire archetype in Arcana. And yes, you can babble on about how the chess piece archfiends are technically an archetype, but they suck ass. This whole reason of this deck was to be annoying. Not let your opponent have any monsters, but you have many. I'll let you watch the video to find out how it turned out that way. And then I found out that this annoying ass card exists. I'm not going to explain this effect. Read it if you want. I also had to use this annoying card, Dice Jar. You know I had to. It's a dice flip. A dice flip, yep. A dice effect deck. I know you see the time. It was 5:30 a.m. I know I usually wake up at this time, but damn, it will be taking some will power to be making these sentences.